Today, man, we're going to be talking about 10 tips to help you guys improve your pass game in College Football 26. Offense is obviously very easy in this game. Just defense is really hard to play, but sometimes you might have those games where you're kind of struggling to pass the ball a little bit. It can happen. Or maybe if your quarterback just doesn't stop overthrowing things, that could happen too. But let's go and get right into the video. Number one is going to be do not hold turbo when you're inside the pocket. So what I mean by that is when I snap the ball right, I can, you see, move with my left stick, but I'm not holding turbo. Now, when I hold turbo, this is what happens. You sprint with your quarterback, right? So it's like this. You just, run out the pocket. So what I mean when I say don't hold turbo, for example, right? Let's say there is a open lane for me to go through in the middle. I just hold turbo with my quarterback, try to run through it. What is going to happen is it's going to make the D-line hurry up and disengage. Or if I just casually step up like this, they're just blitzing the shit out of me. Let me pick a play where they're in like a 4-man rush. Okay, so if let's say there's an open lane in the middle, right? I could just step up like this, like that. You see, and then I can kind of, get through there. Obviously, that guy's shedded. Now, if I try to hold turbo and do that same thing I just did, these guys are not gonna. They're not gonna let it happen. They're going to get off the block just like that right there, as if I was to just kind of slide up with this left stick. You see, I can sneak right by him. Now, if I was holding turbo, that guy to the left on the D tackle, he would have got right off the block and he would have sacked me. Holding turbo makes these guys disengage off their blocks faster. And I know it's technically you're running with the quarterback, but you're doing it on a pass play. So sometimes, you might have to run. Now, if you're doing it to the side like this, that's different. Like if you're trying to roll out with your quarterback, it's mostly when you're trying to like step up and kind of creep up into that open lane of the pocket. And if I were you guys also, this is kind of like a 2-for-1. I'm going to throw this in there too. If you guys want to get a better pocket, like just getting comfortable sitting in the pocket like this and not, because some of you guys, I see what you guys do. This is what you do. You snap the ball and you just start backpedaling. Yeah, I was able to complete a pass there, but it's going to lead to a lot more inaccuracies. And it's just, for example, like let's say I do that and they contain those DNs. When I drop back like that, they're going to get right off the block and you're going to be like, my line's not blocking anybody. No, it's because you're dropping 30 yards back in the pocket. So to kind of build a habit of, staying in the pocket and just building a very good pocket presence, what you could do is go into practice mode and just go against a 4-man rush and just try to survive as long as you can in the pocket. Delaware's line ain't good, so you're not gonna last too long in practice, but it will help you build a pocket. So I'm going to kind of combine that with the first thing we just talked about. Number 2, you need to have a progression system. This is one of the most important things when throwing the ball. So what I mean by a progression system is you can see I'm running this play right here. Why sail out of gun doubles? For some of you guys, what you might be doing is you might, all right, this is my play. I'm just going to snap it and, read the defense post snap. No, what you need to be doing when you get to the line is you need to have a progression system. So what I mean by this, when I snap this ball right here, the 2 first things I'm looking at is the flat. So the first thing I look at, do I have the quick hitch to the left? Don't have that, boom, I'm snapping to the right and I'm looking at this flat. If I don't got the flat, then I'm looking high and I'm looking at the corner route. The streak isn't even a real route. He is just a clear route for the corner route. And my last read would be my corner route. So my corner route, my in route. So you got to have a progression system and you got to understand where you're supposed to be looking. You got to understand coverages. You got to understand how to be cover 3, cover 2. When I call this play, if I call this play against man, I know that I'm typically either looking at the corner route or I'm looking at the in route. If I call this play against like a Tampa 2, I'm looking to see, it would really be, I probably wouldn't really call this against Tampa. If I call this against Tampa 2, I'll be honest, I'll do it like this. I know it's a totally different play now, but the reason why is because if it's Tampa 2, the cloud flat on the right is either going to play high on the corner route or he's going to play low on the receiver on the smoke screen. And then you have RB on this clear out streak, because if there's like no deep half right there, then or if there is a deep half, you can kind of pass lead it to the inside. And it's also a way to kind of take the safety out of the play from playing the corner out. So it's also understanding coverages. So right there, let's say I ran that. My progression system right here, I'd also probably have this receiver and the slot on a little return route like that. So I would read, first I'm reading the smoke screen. I'm looking to see how that cloud flat's playing. And then I'm reading, if I'm not throwing that, I'm reading the corner route and I'm reading RB. Everything on the left is just there for if that whole little flood concept we got going on right there on the left does not work. And also use return routes. Return routes are really good this year. I know zig routes, we've been so used to calling against man for so long. It just the audible zig route like that against man is not good. Now, if you find a play that has like a zig route in it, sometimes they'll run a lot deeper. Those are really good against man. I would say return routes, I think, are a little bit better right now against man. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of my opinion. But you need to have a progression system. So like kind of like what I was going about. I talked about how I would beat man. Against like cover 3, I would kind of just read the high-low. The slot corner is either going to play the running back in the flat, or he's going to play the tight end on the corner route. So you're reading the high-low there, and then you got everything on the left as a backside if in case all that stuff does not work. Kind of the same thing there with the cover 4. So you got to have a progression system. So like I said, for me, against zone, I'm looking at the hitch, I'm looking at the flat, not there. Then I'm looking at the tight end on the corner route, and if all else fails, I have the backside in route. That's just kind of what it is. I think I can actually sneak that in there. Ooh, that's a little, that was a, come on. Another play, I'll just kind of show an example of how my progression system is in a play like this that I like to run. It's also out of doubles. Love this Delaware playbook. For me, the first thing I'm looking at is I'm looking at A. Can I quit? EA, please fix the motioning. I didn't even mean to do that. I'm looking at A on this quick seam streak, which, by the way, this is also kind of working as a little bit of a clear out for all those routes you see right there on the left. But I'm looking to see if I could hit that really quick, because sometimes they might blitz a backer right there. Maybe they have that backer run into the flat real quick to play this running back or something like that, right? So I'm looking to see if I could kind of quick bomb this tight end, or maybe they just have that backer sitting in a hook curl, and then I could throw the streak over his head. So that's the kind of the reason why I'm looking there, because it has quick bomb opportunity. Then I got this running back on the flat right here. What he's basically doing is, if there is some type of, you know, slot corner there and he's thinking about playing the flat, he has to kind of decide, am I going to play the running back on this flat route, or am I playing the wide receiver on the outside on the hitch? If he plays the running back in the flat, then the wide receiver is one-on-one and then it's a free hitch. And then everything on the left is kind of like my the backdoor activity. It's kind of the main part of the play, because that's what the users are going to look at. But for me, how I kind of look at it is, I start with the streak, and then I read the curl flat to the slot corner on the right to see what he plays. So it'll be basically a little something like this. I see, okay, I got one-on-one. Then I'm taking the receiver every time. Not the best ball by the quarterback. Thankfully, it did get there, though. And then, like I said, everything on the left is kind of, you know, last minute I had the, oh man, I had it right there. The wheel route, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like a, what do you want to call it? It's not like a wheel route. It's kind of like it's like an inside C route, I guess you could say. I'm gonna call it a G route. Yeah, it's a really good play. I like to call this play a whole lot too against stadium post, because the hitch you can pretty much hit almost every time if it's just one-on-one. But yeah, if it's man, your routes on the left are pretty much just gonna fry every single time. So just have a progression system. Know where your eyes are going to be before you snap the ball. Number 3, you guys need to know how to pick up blitzes. Some of you guys, you want to throw to beat the blitz. That's fine, but there's going to be a time and a place where you are going to have to block this blitz, and you got to pick it up. So, for example, mid blitz is something I think you guys are going to see a whole lot. This one's pretty easy to pick up. I like to just have a tight end on the line. Go ahead and block him, and then you're going to want to use the untarget feature. If you don't know how to use this, you're going to hit LB, you're going to hit Y, and then this little flame right here, it's very simple to ID in the mic. You'll just, because what they're going to do is they're going to mug the line with their user, usually over top that center, and then you would simply just click their user, and it tells your offensive line, hey, do not block this guy. And then, you know, typically these guys come out and probably like, man, you'll just put your man beating routes out there, and you'll just throw a little dot. Pretty simple as that. So that's, you know, obviously that we just talked about mid blitz. Other blitzes, people, I mean, that's kind of the only good blitz right now. I mean, there's not really much out there. Now, if they're doing some type of loop blitz, I've went against a couple loop blitzes. What I mean by loop blitzes, I guess I shouldn't say loop. What is it called? The stunt D line. Like, they'll send 4, but they got like a little stunt where they're able to kind of get a guy to come in free. Depending on what side that's from, you're gonna want to block your running back. I would say block your running back right. For example, let's say the stunt is on the left, so let's say that left end is wrapping all the way around to the middle. I would just slide the line outside. So I'd block the running back, and then, for example, like I said, if it's coming from the left, then I'm going to half slide to the left. So you will hit the right stick, and you'll flick it to the left like that. And for me, that's kind of picked up any stunts that I've personally went against. So just make sure you guys are picking up blitzes. In this game, I'll be completely honest with you guys. For the most part, if you just block a running back, or like I said, if you want to block a tight end, and if their user's mugging the line, just use the untarget feature. That literally picks up almost every blitz in the game. It's very hard to get pressure in this game. Number 4, you cannot be scared to throw picks. A lot of times, a lot of you guys are, in order to know what you can throw and what you can't throw, you're going to have to throw interceptions. Sometimes you got to literally just kind of live and learn. It's just, you know, kind of what it is. You got to be able to take those chances. Some of you guys might not be trying out certain route combos or certain bombs, and, you know, or just certain looks, just because you're like, you know what, I don't know if I can fit that in there. But you got to be able to try it, because once you throw these interceptions, you're like, okay, if I do this differently, etc., then you'll know, you know, just going forward, you know, what you can and what you can do. Number 5 is you got to have plays that work off each other. So, for example, you know how I showed you guys this play earlier? I like to run right here out of the gun doubles. You know, typically how you'd probably stop this is you'd probably go with like a, I don't know, like a cover 6, maybe like a cover 3 or something like that. You know what I mean? You'd probably try to drop more guys in the middle of the field. So you'd probably do like a cover 3. So once you notice, okay, cool, they're starting to drop more people in there, you know, you could do something like this, call it like a 4 verts, and know that, okay, cool, now I kind of have these seams open, and you'll just kind of, obviously I don't even know what the defense was in. I didn't pick anything for them. Let's say maybe I keep hitting with this Z spot right here, right? They're running cover 3, they're running cover 4, something like that. And now it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go Tampa 2, have that cloud flat play the corner out. Well, then I could check to something like this, and I could pretty much just bomb this Tampa 2 with a simple adjustment like this, just streak the tight end. I got the post right down the middle, and you know, just like that, you try to use the post right in the middle. Well, now I take the, you know, I take the drag underneath. So, you know, just having different plays that work off each other, just, you know, will make your life a whole lot easier. So, you know, if they stop your one play, okay, cool, I can be in the same formation, check to something out of this. You kind of never know what I'm going to next. Number 6 is going to be take what the defense gives you. I feel like a lot of you guys, a lot of time, you want the big shot play. I know you do. You hate the check down Charlies, but, you know, the check down Charlies are the one that are winning games. You know why? Because they're taking what the defense gives me. If you sit here and you give me this flat route to the running back every single play, this running back will have 15 catches for 160 yards because I'm going to throw it every single play. And that needs to be your mindset. You need to just take what they give. If they're giving you the flat every single play, I just don't understand why you wouldn't take it. Oh, well, it's pussy. Well, that doesn't make sense. Do you want to win, or do you want to be a, you know, guy that loses but puts up, you know, flashy highlights? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So if he's giving you that flat every play, you keep throwing that flat until he takes it away. Because guess what? Now when he takes with a flat play, right? He takes with a flat play. Now I could probably throw this corner out deep, which I will do it right now. Dot. Gotta catch. He's got to catch that. I'm just kidding. Number 8 is you got to get a playbook that you like. You got to find something you like. Now, if you play regs, obviously you can only use that team's playbook. If you play Ultimate Team and Dynasty, you got the freedom to use whatever you want. But I'll go over a couple playbooks really quick that are really good that you can use for passing the ball in this game. I use Delaware, so I'm just going to kind of sneak Delaware in there. It's actually a really good playbook for passing the ball. I'm not going to tell you to use it, but I enjoy it. Other playbooks that are really good I think you should use. Maryland is a really good playbook. I haven't seen people talk about it a whole lot. It is a extremely good playbook. UCLA is really good. It's got a very good bunch. Pitt is really good if you like to throw a lot of tight formations, tight slots, tight open, all that stuff. Bowling Green is arguably one of the best playbooks in the entire game. I think Georgia is honestly another really good playbook. I don't think I hear a whole lot of people talking about it, but it's really good. Oregon State, that's another really good playbook. Miami is a really good playbook. Boston College, Duke, pretty much all those playbooks I just named, go ahead and check them out. All really good playbooks for passing the ball in this game. I actually went over a video, this was before the game came out, when the database came out, just going over my 10 favorite playbooks I had for passing the ball personally, just off eye assumption, and honestly I think it still holds up really well. So I'll have the link down in that description. It's a very long video. I kind of go in depth with all those playbooks, but it is kind of a, I guess in a way, kind of a breakdown of those playbooks. Number 8 is you got to have a run game. Now, do you have to have a run game? I'm not going to say that you have to, but having a run game can open up the pass game. For example, right, I'm in wide trips. There's this direct snap to the running back play. It can be a very annoying play if somebody, you know, runs it and you're not really expecting it. So just, for example, just simply calling something as simple as that, what it'll do is, you know, it'll keep the defense ready. Like, hey, I need to stay ready in case he runs something like that. So as much as you guys might want to throw the ball 30 times a game, sometimes handing it off a few times is going to help out a whole lot, or even a whole bunch of times. If you're getting 4 or 5 yards a clip, I don't know why you'd stop running it. And it's just, it's only going to help your pass game, because then it opens up play action, and then, you know, they think you're going to run it on first down. Now you're throwing it. So just always keep the defense on their toes. Number 9, you need to be using the high ball and the free form feature in this game. If you're not sure how to use that, to do a high ball, you simply just hit LB. And what it'll do is that right there. You see how it kind of high points the ball in the air? This works really well sometimes when you're trying to throw a really tight window. I'm going to see if I can try to get something maybe here with this corner out over top this guy. See, that's a high ball. He put a little extra on it. I wish he didn't put that much, but let's say maybe you're trying to throw a streak over the middle. You got to get over the guy's head. You could do a little high ball that pass let it down. It'll just help sometimes when the DB's kind of close by, and you know, you got to make sure you get a little extra on it. That's another high ball right there. That's a dot. It's very important. All you got to do is hit LB when you're throwing it, and it's definitely one of the best features in the game, period. That's another high ball right there. See, sometimes it even just gives you a better catch animation. Now, as for the free form, you're going to hold L2, LT, whatever. I think it's Xbox. It's Well, actually, it's LT. PlayStation is LT. I actually had to think now. There's also some freeform settings you have to go along with this. I don't even know if I can show you in practice. Okay, I can. So right now, placement and accuracy is kind of the best passing settings to play on. You're going to want to have your passing slow down on off. Put your pass lead increase on none. And for reticle speed, I do 2. I think you could also do 3. I know other people probably tell you to do higher. 2 to 3 for me is the best. Now, if you're thinking about playing on placement, so if you're not using quarterbacks that are that good, I would say play on placement accuracy. If your quarterback does not get the ability dot, I would play on placement accuracy. Now, if your quarterback is, you know, a better overall quarterback and he also gets the ability dot, I would play on placement because dot only works on placement. What placement does is it doesn't make you have to time the throw. It'll just, you know, whatever your quarterback's, you know, throw accuracy rating is, which by the way, you can't see that in regs or dynasty. You can only see it in ultimate team, which is kind of messed up. So just remember, if your quarterback's got dot, probably go placement. If he doesn't, go placement accuracy. I play on placement accuracy because the quarterback I use does not have it. Look at that. Hold on. He's about to throw a laser. Oh, man, these receivers suck. But yeah, I play on placement accuracy because Zach Marker for Delaware does not have it. If you're asking why I use Delaware, my favorite team, and I'm gonna ride or die my boys. But yeah, those are pretty much the tips I have to give you guys. This will all pretty much help you. I would also recommend that, you know, get some type of a scheme when it comes to throwing the ball. So when I say a scheme, just, you know, for example, right, when I run Delaware, what I typically kind of run out of the blue hens is I like to run the doubles. I kind of go everything from doubles to wing trips. You know, that's kind of where I stay at. Now the formations are kind of simpler. I kind of run a lot of the doubles though. I'm really liking Delaware's doubles a whole lot, but so when the scheme is right, when I come out in doubles, you don't really kind of know what I'm gonna run. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of different things that I'm kind of running out of it. So the scheme is just like, okay, you kind of always have to be on your toes. As if, for example, right, let's say you're just, you know, say maybe you're picking, I don't know, favorite plays or code suggestions, or you're just, you know, picking play types. Anytime you come out in that certain formation, right, that's a high ball, by the way. I tried to do it to get it over the defender. These guys suck, dog. But if you just come out, like for example, right, if I came out in doubles once and you remember the player ran at it, and I only come out in the doubles when I run that one play, because I'm running doubles, I'm running trips, I'm running spread, but I'm only running, like, you know, that play out of it because, you know, it's not really schemed. I'm just like, okay, cool, I'm ready to run this play, so I'm gonna run that play. You're gonna kind of have an idea. He just dropped that. By the way, this all happens in game for me half the time too. Like, it's this tough using Delaware, man. It is very tough, but you know, we win football games. Try to get yourself a scheme as well. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I got a little gun double scheme I kind of run with Delaware. It's really good. I'll kind of, like I said, I'll kind of also go into the wing trips, the wide trips. I kind of run the ball a little bit more out of those, but I do pass the ball out of those as well, you know, because like we said before, you do got to keep the defense has got to be kept tame, man. So, you know, don't just come out, okay, I'm going to run doubles to run okay, I'm going to come out wing trips to run the verticals. And then, like, those are the only plays you ever run when you come out of those. So now you're becoming predictable. You don't want to become predictable. You never want to be predictable, because once they figure out what you're doing, and if they figure out what you're doing and you know that they know what you're doing, then, you know, we got to switch it up. I know I kind of just went on a little long rant right there at the end, but, you know, if you stayed with me, thank you. If you made it this far in the video, why not go ahead and just drop a like, man? You made it this far, you might as well. And also, if you're not subbed to the channel, sub to the channel. We're going to get a lot more content out like this. We're going to be dropping gameplays. We're going to be, I'm giving out more tip videos to you guys. I'm gonna be giving out breakdowns, playbook breakdowns, all that stuff. My first breakdown I've gotten out so far is the NC State playbook. I think my next breakdown is probably going to be the Delaware playbook. That's going to be the plan. I am also going to be doing I think I'm either going to do a doubles breakdown, gun doubles, or a wide trips breakdown pretty soon. It's going to be out of probably the Delaware playbook. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys want? Do you guys want me to give you guys a wide trips breakdown, or do you guys want to get a doubles breakdown? Let me know. Or wing trips, because I'll be honest, wing trips is kind of similar to wide trips. The breakdowns will probably be out of the Delaware playbook though, just because that's kind of what I run. So, but some of these route combos, you know, you'll be able to put them together in other playbooks, or maybe your playbook has this stuff. So, you know, always keep that in mind. I also do stream over on Twitch, using Delaware, no surprise. Online playing regs, and I also do have a little dynasty that I do. So if you guys want to tap in with the Twitch link, that's down in the description. If not, it's fine. I do think I'm actually about to start multi-streaming to YouTube as well. I'm going to try to get that either set up this weekend, or I'm going to get it set up next weekend. It's going to be this week or next week. Enough of me right now, man. Let's go ahead and get out of here. If you're even still here, are you even still here? What are you doing? I'm just kidding. Thanks for staying. I'm out of here. See y'all boys in the next one.